Hey, what's up, pro wrestling fans? Welcome to the dgenerationxl podcast. My name is Big Joe Yarbrough, wrestling's biggest fan by at least 60 pounds, and I'm here with the Scorpio to my sky.
Dylan Pack, and today we are talking about Wednesday Night Wars, week number 5. Ooh. We've got NXT going head-to-head against AEW, also going up against the World Series, also going up against all these other things that are happening tonight. So we're very excited to see these ratings that come out. But we will go match by match, card by card, let you know what we think of each show, and give you our final results at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be coming back. So far, AEW and NXT are coming off what we kind of revised in our last video. If you didn't check that out, of our This Week in Wrestling. Last week, we gave them each a draw, and I gave NXT the win, but then we kind of redacted and said a double draw.
Yeah.
But ratings show otherwise. But we're going to get into that and more at the dgenerationxl podcast, where we bring you all things wrestling
all around the world.
Break it down! Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a break, boy. Yeah, that's a break, little man. Break it down.
And welcome back, wrestling fans. Again, my name's Big Joe. We're going to jump right into it. Coming off of last week, more of the news wasn't so much the ratings for NXT AEW. It was the ratings of AEW and Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, the big show kind of took a dive.
A big dump.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. What did they go up against, though?
They had moved them to FS1 because they had something else going on Fox Sports. And so, it was they had
the World Series on Fox.
World Series on Fox. And so because of that, they moved them to FS1 for a special night. And man, under 1 million. 888,000.
When I saw the news break, I wasn't surprised because WWE has just not... Call me an AEW mark, dude. I don't care.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm over it. WWE storylines. And I don't know. I really hope that it's just the lead up to Crown Jewel. I hope that this is just like a... Because I feel like every time they go to Saudi Arabia, it just gets so stale. It's so stale right now.
Yeah, I mean, Mark or not, the main roster storylines, nothing is appealing, and you're even losing me with Bray Wyatt with how you're treating it, where it's like, man, there was so much potential to go so many directions. It reminds me of, my wife once sent me this funny meme from Bob's Burgers, and it was Tina learning to drive in an empty parking lot.
Yeah.
And there's one car.
Oh, my God.
And all the parking spots say good idea. And then it's WWE creative, and then the one car's bad idea, and it's just, I'm like, Tina, go the other way. Tina, it's like, and just WWE goes, and we're here. No contest and a false count anywhere. Can't be stopped. So, yeah, I'm surprised. But NXT has good storylines. Yeah. It's a good matchup, but...
Nobody thinks that The Fiend's going to win at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, I don't think he is. It's probably going to be stopped.
See, at this point, I just hope that The Fiend doesn't lose.
They're going to make it happen. Doesn't matter. So anyway, we're going to go right into the shows that matter. We're going to dive into AEW and NXT. We're going to kick it off with NXT. Last week, I think we did AEW first week. Mm-hmm. We are coming off the fallout from Finn Balor turning heel and turning on Johnny Gargano. We're coming off of Undisputed walking away with all their gold again draped around them. Mm-hmm. And there was so much to tie together here. We kick it off with kind of a surprise. We have the intro song done by Hi, I'm Poppy, which I had to show you Poppy, and you were like, this is terrifying.
I had no idea who it was, but it freaked me out, and I might have nightmares.
Yeah, they had Poppy,
it was awful.
Poppy come out, do the entrance song for the kickoff of NXT, then did the entrance for Io Shirai, which was pretty tight.
Yeah. Dude, Io Shirai's, if that's her real theme music, right? They just played her theme song?
No, they did like a different song. They did a different song.
I don't know, but it was sick.
It was super sick. But they come out, her and Candice LeRae have a match. Great matchup, great exchange, and again, showcase NXT starting off strong and showcasing the thing that they do better than any other wrestling promotion out there, women's wrestling. And it was great. Io goes over on Candice.
Yeah, Io goes over in a great match against Candice LeRae, 2 of probably their top 4 women in NXT, not including Shayna Baszler because she's awful. But no, great match. Io Shirai goes over, which I think is the right move here. You want to push Io Shirai to the moon, and she deserves it. She's fantastic. And to eventually get her title shot against whoever the title is or whoever is the title holder going forward.
Absolutely. And then after the match, Io decides to continue her violence. So she brings out a chair, and she looks like she's going to continue the violence on Candice, and we get a save from Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley is a badass.
Rhea Ripley is great. I love Rhea Ripley, this anti-hero. They're booking her great. Let's hope they continue to book her that way. And so I think it's going to be something special.
After Rhea Ripley, who came out?
No, that was the beginning. So it was just the beginning.
Oh, that's right.
So we're going to get to that later. But next up, we have the fallout of Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor comes out to a not as great of promo as I would have anticipated.
Dark Arena, just a spotlight on him, which shades of probably one of the most underrated promos ever done in WWE. Kevin Owens calling out Goldberg. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was one of the best promos. Dark, starting off Raw, cold open, all Dark Arena, spotlight of him on a chair saying he's going to beat the hell out of Goldberg. Finn Balor gets shades of it, but like you said, kind of falls short.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's not really dug into this new heel character very much yet. But obviously is calling out Johnny Gargano. So that's going to be the feud going forward. We did not get a Undisputed Era join
Our alliance
or anything like that, which is kind of a bummer for me. But Finn Balor's always been great on his own, and him and Johnny Gargano are going to put on a 5-star match.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait for that takeover. The only thing I feel about this is I think that Finn Balor really wants to become Prince Devitt. But again, it's an NXT, it's a WWE. This is not pro wrestling. This is sports entertainment. And with sports entertainment comes a lot of rules and bogging and boundaries. And we're not getting Prince Devitt. We're getting Dumbed Down Devitt.
Yeah.
And hashtag that, Dumbed Down Devitt. Because you can tell.
If that's Dumbed Down Devitt, what the hell is Jordan Devlin?
Jordan Devlin is Dinky Dumbed Down Devlin.
Dinky Dumbed Down Devlin.
Yeah, he's Baby Balor. So
He was not happy when people were chanting that.
No,
baby
he was
Balor.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I'm loving the angle still, but it looks like he's still not as good on the mic as he was because he's not given the freedom. I mean, Prince Devitt was cursing up a storm, dropping F-bombs, threatening to kill people. And obviously they can't go that far. AEW, on the other hand, had somebody else on their show that was deciding I'm gonna go in. But we'll get to that as well. After that, we get Shane Thorne versus Bronson Reed. Shane Thorne, formerly of TM61, taking on Bronson Reed, who was in the breakout tournament that they had.
Yeah.
Real big guy from New Zealand. They put on a pretty great match.
It was a really good, hard-hitting match.
Real stiff.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm never going to be a fan of Bronson Reed because he just reminds me of the Flame Kid from Deadpool 2.
I know. Do it the whole.
Yeah, I can't do it, dude. It's literally identical, and that's all I'm going to think about every time I see this guy.
Yeah, he does come up with the win here with it's beyond a splash. It was a full-on tsunami. A tsunami under Shane Thorne, and just plants him with a splash from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. And it was a good way. I can't wait to see a little bit more of him. I'd love to see that Flame Kid and what he can do.
Yeah, I would love to see the Flame. I don't even understand. If you saw Bronson Reed on the top rope, would you take that spot? Like, would you take the bump?
No. I mean,
is there a safe way to do that?
He did protect the knee a little. Like, he led with his knee first. He kind of came out, but now there's a part of it where you just got to take that sucker. That's where you just reinforce the ring in a commercial break. It's not a. I mean, I know it's a live show, but I don't really think it's a live show. You know,
Yeah.
WWE's pulled those stunts, but yeah, that was pretty great. Next up, this was probably the highlight of NXT.
Mm-hmm.
We get the Kabuki, Bukaki, Samurai, Sushi Zen, Samurai Warriors.
Yep.
The Rush Hour Roulette. and they go up against Team Kick, Dakota Kai, and Tegan Nox, which I did not know they were going to defend the belts on NXT the next
Which
week.
is good on you.
Good on you.
It
Hunter.
I know everybody knows that it's not, but it makes it feel more of an equal promotion to SmackDown and Raw.
Absolutely. You have the Cruiserweight title on there now, and you give a chance that NXT can take some illustrious titles, which honestly they could use since they kind of have a huge division for that. That they can really
if
benefit.
the NXT, if the women's championships ended up on NXT, I don't think they'd miss a beat. Name who's a women's tag team on WWE's roster, like a real tag team.
The Iconics.
That's it.
Fire and Desire.
That's Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville.
You're right. I mean, Iconics. Shit, yeah. Iconics. That's it.
Yeah,
there's no. I don't understand. I mean,
the Kabuki Warriors. They're a great tag team.
But even then, on their own, they were on their own first. Where I
Yeah.
think the Iconics just work well together all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Like Alexa, Nikki Cross was just thrown together.
Yep.
Bailey, Sasha was just thrown together. Obviously,
Naomi, Carmella, which was in the inaugural match.
yeah.
Tamina, Nia Jax thrown together.
Yeah, I see. There's not organic tag teams made up in women's wrestling.
I mean, you could put those tag team belts on Jessica Duke and Mira Shafira, and you could have a serious threat with those women. With
Exactly,
Shayna
but
and
they've come up together, so they're like you could see them winning as a tag team.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Just like Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox came up together, like you could see them as a tag team, Team Kick. I don't know, man. It's just.
Yeah, I think you're honest with me. I think I'd like to see some of that. But this match was actually great. So we get Team Kick. Dakota Kai's just getting pummeled, dude. They're just not. I think they're also trying to play it safe with Tegan Nox, fresh off that big injury. But she is taking bumps. Tegan Nox gets the hot tag, starts coming in, and
Dakota Kai is a sell.
she is a sell. Hits that stiff knee to Asuka, and while the referee's not looking and paying attention to the outside of Kairi Sane, we get the green mist to the face of Dakota Kai, and then a blind tag into Kairi Sane, who hits the insane elbow onto the back of Dakota Kai. Just plants it. I always love when they modify it a little bit, kind of like when Pac does the black arrow on your back right into the submission.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
That's what I loved. They hit her with the insane elbow. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Then what ends up happening is as soon as the match is over, this is probably the highlight of NXT. I thought this should have closed the show, especially if you have the WWE Women's title.
That would have been a great closer.
A great closer. What happens is
you're right.
I don't know why they didn't do that. Start with the women, end with the women.
I mean, yeah, it's your strength.
It's
That
your
would
strength.
have been smart.
That would have been smart. That might affect me in the judging a little bit. But what happens here is after the bell, Tegan's trying to tend to Dakota, who's got the green mist in her face. Referee is barely seeing this, trying to help her out. And Shayna and her lackeys come out, and they decide that they're going to do some damage. All three flank Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox drops Shayna Baszler with an elbow. Jessica Duke and Mira come after her and just start wailing on her in the corner. And all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley's music hits while they're about to break Tegan Nox's arm like they did Dakota Kai.
Yep.
And Rhea Ripley comes out, and as she's making her way to the ring, out of nowhere, Io Shirai just drops her with a stiff elbow.
Yeah, take a page out of Randy's book.
Yeah, just really out of nowhere. And he's been really bringing it.
He's been bringing it. He's pretty
He must
clutch.
be listening. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to see out of nowhere?
I'll get you out of nowhere, baby.
I'm going to come out the referee's butt.
Yeah,
Straight up.
that's it.
I'm out like a snake. Just whoop, whoop, I'm out. But Io Shirai comes out of nowhere, drops an elbow on her, and Rhea sells it to a degree and then just comes right back with a stiff boot to Io Shirai. And then out of nowhere again, Bianca Belair just comes from the back and just drops Rhea. And then
Hard. That was stiff.
Very stiff of Bianca. And I was looking too. After I was like, I wonder if she gets a shot back. What's she going to do, Bianca? Because Bianca came in a little too stiff.
Yeah.
Here comes Candice LeRae tossing Io Shirai into the barricade, almost flying over. Like, hard. Bianca comes to get Candice. And she gets turned around by Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley doesn't give her a big boot. She just shoves her foot in her mouth. Just drops her with a boot. And as they're all sitting down there.
I think I actually saw the shoelaces coming out of Bianca's ass.
Yeah, they got tangled up in her freaking weave.
Yeah.
So, you know that ain't real.
It's freaking.
Sorry. Anyway, I could tell.
On to the
That's
next
horsehair. All right. That's EST stands for equestrian. Anyway, what happens then is Rhea then is standing tall, looks at Shayna. They get in the ring, and all of them just break out into a huge brawl. They're going at it. Security comes, and they're trying to break them up. And everyone's chanting, let them fight, let them fight. William Regal comes up to the balcony. He grabs the microphone and says, stop, stop, everybody stop. And they're trying to break them up. And he just finally in great Regal fashion, just simply goes, there's only one way to handle this. Works the crowd and says, War Games. Drops the mic. And every time I hear it, I just get goosebumps. The first ever women's War Games.
And once again, they deserve it. They deserve it. And is there going to be multiple War Games matches?
I don't think they even have anything set up for that, unless they do the Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
But they'd have to do like
Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Matt Riddle, and somebody else.
It would probably be, if they did the whole thing.
Ciampa.
It'd probably be Ciampa. It probably wouldn't be Riddle and Keith. I think it would probably be or Dominic. I think it'd be, if anything, it's probably going to be more star-studded. They'll put all of Undisputed Era. They'll put Ciampa. They'll put Velveteen. And then for a tag, they'll probably...
They better hurry up.
Yeah. They'll probably do for a tag like Riddle and Keith.
Yeah.
Because those were they went for the titles.
Listen, if one of the things I don't like about Hell in a Cell is nowadays they have 4 Hell in a Cell matches on the pay-per-view. I remember them just having one, and everybody looking forward to that one Hell in a Cell match. I want to look forward to that one War Games match.
Well, I think this women's one is going to bring it. It was set up beautifully.
Hell yeah, it is.
It was set up great by Regal.
Who goes off the cage?
Who's going off the cage?
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae's taking it.
Yeah.
She's going to hit a poison run off the cage on somebody. Probably to Shayna.
Wow.
I think she poisoned
Shayna's not taking that bump.
I think Shayna takes the bump. She takes bumps, dude. I'm telling you. She'll take a bump.
Off the cage?
I think off the cage. If not her,
Arana?
Yeah, if not her, Io Shirai takes it.
Oh, I would see Io taking it.
Yeah. Or Io just takes the moonsault off.
Oh, no.
Onto everybody, yeah.
That's going to be wild.
It's going to be a wild time, dude. Great. I'm excited for that pay-per-view. It's going to be really great. And then we close out the night with the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly taking on Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. And they put on a decent match. There's some spots that were kind of, I think Keith Lee and Matt Riddle are feeling each other out in working together as a tag. Not just in kayfabe, but also just in the ring. It just seemed like they're two singles guys trying to do their singles thing, but Kyle and Bobby have got a lot of cool togetherness, tandem offense and stuff. Super great match. Again, it ends with the Undisputed Era coming out, distracting Riddle. And as they get distracted, Keith Lee gets distracted. And after all of that we get Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish leaving Matt Riddle alone in the ring. He gets swept with the high-low. And 1, 2, 3, Undisputed Era comes over. And as they do that, they again look to inflict more damage. Kind of a repeat, I guess. I don't like that kind of part, where it's like, okay, here's the same thing. And everyone, you can see everyone in the crowd just looking up, at the ramp for what's coming up. Tommaso Ciampa comes out. He has his signature crutch. Daddy's home. He comes in there. He starts laying waste to people. We get no Balor at the end either to kind of close out with a really, really high note, but we get Ciampa. He lays waste to him. They leave Kyle O'Reilly alone in the ring. Kyle O'Reilly just takes a huge bump with the wrench. We get Matt Riddle hitting him with the Yarbrough knee, and Keith Lee picking up Kyle O'Reilly and throwing him at the Undisputed Era as those three stand tall in the ring.
Yeah, so the reason I brought up the men's War Game match is because Ciampa on the mic said, Goldie, you're going to have to wait. Daddy's going to war.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, this is underwhelming a little bit to me.
So I think that now that I say it out loud, they're probably going to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Ciampa.
And Velveteen.
Oh, yeah.
Because he called out Roderick for having a tiny pee-pee.
Ooh, that was good. I love Velveteen Dream, dude.
You know what I hate? Real quick, I want to say this to all the marks, the WWE marks. If you're going to tell me I love Velveteen Dream, but I hate Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you. There it is. We'll bleep it out later.
Velveteen is fantastic. Orange Cassidy is fantastic. But Velveteen is out there.
Yeah. So is Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
He's out there. He's so out there that he's in here.
Yeah. But the thing is, Orange Cassidy is just great because he is so good at his gimmick, which is being lazy.
But so is Velveteen. He's so good at his gimmick of just being out there. Yeah.
God, Velveteen is great.
And no Velveteen on the show.
Nope.
That's crazy to me.
Have we seen him since he got his ass beat?
No.
I kind of like that.
They're probably going to bring him back when they want to do a war game. So probably next week we'll see him.
Yeah, I like that. I
Anyway,
like that he's been out.
That was NXT. We're going to go on and move ahead to AEW. AEW kicks off with a heater. We get Adam Hangman Page going up against Sammy Guevara. God, Adam Hangman Page is so good.
Adam Hangman Page. Finally, he got a little mic spot after the match, which finally. But Hangman versus Sammy Guevara was a great match. I just realized today that Sammy Guevara is now 0-3 on his record.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's a great wrestler, but I mean, he is the newbie on the block, and both of these guys are young. Jim Ross on commentary was talking about how in 10 years these two are going to be the main eventers of AEW, and I was like, 10 years. I realized both these dudes are like 22 years old.
Yeah. They're younger than us.
That's insane.
That's crazy. And one of the best spots of the night, too, is Sammy Guevara, a well-known high flyer, coming to the top rope, rising up to the crowd, booing him, and then just simply jumping off to his feet and slapping Adam Hangman Page to oblivion. Just
slapping Hangman's horse back to life.
Yeah, dude. He just gave him a yeehaw and just gave him a big old crack in the head, ringing his eardrum. And then Hangman shoots back with a big overhand chop, like kind of receipt.
You know he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was
Big
pissed.
receipt. And what I loved about it, ended with a great buckshot lariat. Boom, win, kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I love that kind of fast-paced energy. And he comes out and
And it
says,
wasn't the Deadeye.
It wasn't the Deadeye. Comes out with his mic promo, like you said, and keeps it short and simple. He says, come full gear, I'ma do
Cowboy shit.
cowboy shit. I love that. I love it. Just he's coming after Pac. I'm really excited to see that.
Oh, man. Next up, we had Hikaru Shida. I'm really glad you put the name there. We had Hikaru Shida going up against Shanna.
Yeah.
And this was I was excited because we finally got a good women's match in AEW.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought, okay, they're just bringing this kind of newbie out here to kind of get crushed by Hikaru Shida. So
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a squash.
But, dude, Shanna wrestles. This girl can wrestle.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I hope that they keep her around. I know that nobody's really seen her yet. Maybe in other promotions and other countries earned it, but this is the first time I've been introduced to her, and wow, she very much impressed.
Yeah, she was the Portuguese perfectionist, or the perfect Portuguese athlete is what they called
Yeah.
her. And man, she hit the double foot stomps from the top rope. She had some great chain wrestling to start. They put on a wrestling match.
Yeah, and Hikaru Shida is fantastic. We've seen her since probably the first couple AEW shows. She was out with Riho. Oh, that's right. She teamed with Riho and one of the other girls. I don't remember her name though.
Oh, the one that looked just like Aladdin.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
These women put on a fantastic match. Hikaru Shida goes over on Shanna. We kind of knew that was going to come, but it was not a squash match.
And they very much teased Shanna sneaking victories.
Yeah.
It was really out there.
Near falls left and right in this match.
Yeah, that was really great. Next up, we had the Rock and Roll Express come out to introduce these new AEW beautiful tag titles. Beautiful. Some of the most beautiful tag team championships I've ever seen in my life. The back is snakeskin. The beautiful blue. It reminds me of those nice classic WCW ones, but just more modernized. God, it's well done. It's well done.
Oh my gosh.
So we get Gibson, we get Morton, and they're out there, and I'm really excited because I'm like, dude, these guys still go. I was telling them how I was just watching them in NWA taking on them boys, the Briscoes.
I'm thinking like, okay, these dudes, like, I thought it was going to be a Bret Hart thing. Like, they're just going to come, introduce the titles, yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden, we get Ortiz and Santana, which is now known as...
The Proud and Powerful.
Which is that's kind of lame.
It's a little lame. I will give it that.
Their tag team names aren't the best.
No, but I think they grow. They'll grow.
They're going to get anything over,
Yeah.
no matter what. But Santana and Ortiz come out and just wreck these dudes, these 67-year-old
I
dudes.
literally was just telling you, like, these guys can go. They'll take bumps, and you're like,
yeah, and I was
dude,
like, dude,
no.
not even.
And all of a sudden, here comes Santana Ortiz. Also, right off the bat, what do we get? We're the best. We're the best. We're the best. And I'm like, oh my God, he's only done one thing, and he's still doing it. So they're out there taking it, and my boy, dude, just takes all of a sudden, like, we get, I think it's Ortiz, goes to grab the belts, and then he goes, nah, put those down.
Just throws these brand new belts on the ground.
Throws these brand new belts, scuffing them on the metal, and they pick homie up and just double powerbomb him through the stage. And the Young Bucks come for the save, and they just run off like gang stuff.
They killed an old man.
They killed him. And the best part about it too is Santana, when they powerbomb, Santana just like, of course, Ortiz yelling, "We the best, we're the best, we're the best, the best, the best." And you just get Santana just like spraying, holding up like, what is
First
that?
you powerbombed through the stage, now you're shooting him up.
Yeah, dude, just gang. Dude, just
That's all it is.
I loved it. And that wasn't the last we saw of him, but what a great segment.
Oh my gosh. Next up, we had Best Friend, and we sound like Marks, dude. We sound like such Marks. I don't care. I give no craps. Next up, we had the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy. I'm guessing he's just a part of the Best Friends now. He's a best friend.
I guess.
So the Best Friends taking on QT Marshall and was it Peter Avalon?
No, it wasn't Peter Avalon. It was just like two.
Oh, it was just two jobbers, huh?
Two guys, yeah.
Yeah, so we had QT Marshall with two jobbers, two local talents going up against the Best Friends. And this match was, I love the Best Friends.
Yeah, I know you love the Best Friends. They were getting stale for me. Thank God for Orange Cassidy. The wrestling itself, if you're just a purist wrestling fan and you don't like the comic hokey, if you're just kind of an a-hole and your name's Jim Cornette, you're going to hate this.
Yeah.
But if you like all forms of art of wrestling, you're going to love it because we loved it. And it really was a cool just gimmick match. I'd probably only give it like a C+B. But it was funny because the Best Friends come out, but their music and their video package has clips of Rick and Morty in it. And they cosplayed as Rick and Morty, and Orange Cassidy was Rick as well. And he just like held the gun up just like a little bit. And they were introduced by Morty.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, and he was just like,
we also had Rick and Morty turnbuckles.
Rick and Morty turnbuckles. People wearing the mask, and they were out there in the crowd rocking them. And then they came to the ring. Orange Cassidy did Orange Cassidy things. The Best Friends do their zoom out hug, which I still not for the zoom out, but
Dude, I don't know why. It just gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and everybody's looking at the hug. Oh, it's so cute, dude.
it's whatever. It was a good match. The Best Friends go over here. And
in a good match.
in a good match, Orange Cassidy getting his spot where he's lighting him up in the legs.
Yep.
I love it.
Orange Cassidy, man, you're great. Keep doing what you're doing, Orange. Freshly squeezed, baby.
Absolutely. Next up, we had this whole night we were teased as Tony Schiavone picked up Cody from the airport, and he was driving him personally to this contract signing. One of the things I loved about it, too, was it kind of seemed like it was long, maybe drawn out. Excuse me. But Tony Schiavone tells a really cool story that kind of led up to this. I kind of liked it as a pure wrestling fan. He told a story about Cody's dad to him. And he had said, we're going out there. And he's like, as we're coming in, Cody, I want to tell you a story about your dad. And he says, coming up to this match, I think about my dad a lot. And Cody brings up, I always wanted to win a world championship so my dad can see it. But, that's something I think about all the time. Really adding to the storyline. And Tony says, as we're showing up, the only advice I can give you, I'm not really a wrestling coach, but there's a story about your dad where I remember we were hanging out with Willie Nelson at this hotel, and Willie was waiting to go to the pool with him, and I went to go see where your dad was, and I come to his hotel room, and I knock on the door, and he says, come in, and I open the door, and there he is, butt naked, and I'm just thinking, what the heck? And he asks, hey, is Willie in the pool? And he goes, yeah, and he goes, perfect. Remember this, Tony, a star always comes out last. Make him wait. And I thought, wow, that was really cool. And he tells Cody, at any events, make Jericho wait. Make him wait. And that's what he did. They had their contract signing. He shows up in the car with Dustin Rhodes. Tony Schiavone leads him to the ring. They have the contract signing. It didn't end with a broken table.
I was just going to say, Chris Jericho teased it a couple times. I think it was another little rub at WWE.
Yep.
Because every single time we do a contract signing in WWE, it ends with a broken table.
Yeah, and it never ends with an actual contract kind of signing. They had a formal signing. They'd have it happen. He teases him, and then he says, La Champion is a man of class, so I'm going to extend my hand and shake your hand. I'll see you November 9th. They shake hands. Cody brings him back in, and they have a great stare down. And then Jericho says, brother, you might want to let go of my hand. You might be needed somewhere else. And they see Sammy Guevara, who's in the back with his camera saying, is this thing on? Is this working? He goes, hey, Cody, you might want to check this out. And it shows Jake Hager.
No.
Yeah, Jake Hager taking it to Dustin Rhodes in the back where the car is and slamming him into the car and then hitting him with the low blow. So they're really pulling that Bellator angle over which he got, a no contest
Did
in
he do it on purpose? If he did this on purpose
at
in
Bellator. Amazing.
I'm so in.
I'm in. Like, at that point, that's commitment.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to see Lesnar try to F5 a guy.
No. I'd be down for that too,
I'd be
though.
down for that too. But I'm saying Jake Hager hits the low blow on Dustin.
We just passed over this. Jake Hagar took Dustin's head and made a freaking dent in the limo.
Oh, yeah. Assaulted this 55-year-old man.
There was
a dent shows up in this car. And then to make it worse, Dustin kind of pops up. And then as he's sitting there, he's trying to get his footing with his arm in the door. And Jake Hagar slams his arm in the door.
unprotected.
Unprotected.
What? I was speechless because, he real slammed that onto his arm.
Yeah, real
I
slams.
don't know if there was any magic behind the door or whatever, but
Maybe,
damn,
but
it looked real.
Then Dustin immediately says, F my arm. And sitting there, Cody gets there, tries to come to the rescue. The inner circle scurries off. Shades of the WCW outsiders coming in kind of thing.
Chris Jericho's smoking a cigar.
Smoking a American Nightmare cigar,
Yep.
going, hey, Cody, you might want to take your brother to the hospital. Happy Halloween. Gets in the limo. I'm like,
With his nice purple.
with purple
Purple
Halloween
jacket.
jacket he got from Walmart.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, great segment. I thought it was good.
Oh, it was a fantastic. Oh, my God. These guys are so good.
Yeah.
Next up, we had the Elite consisting of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega going up against Kip Sabin, Superbad Kip Sabin, and the Hybrid 2, another one of those iffy tag team names. But this was a good match. Kenny Omega came out as Undertale, the video game Undertale. It was nice. And then Young Bucks did their Ken and Ryu cosplays. They were the only ones who did a costume tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Besides Best Friends.
Yeah, besides the Best Friends. It was a good, this one was a good match. I think what makes these matches so good to us, and it's not to sound like marks, they're good because you can't turn away because you're going to miss something.
Literally, if I pick up my phone for a second, I've missed something.
Yeah, we watched NXT first and then AEW after, and thank God because we were able to rewind because it's like, oh man, we missed something. We picked up our phone for a second. It's like, we missed something.
I could check my phone in NXT because half the match is a rest hold.
Yeah, or they're just both on the ground.
Yeah.
And the action kept going. Good match. One of the coolest spots was we had one of the Young Bucks holding up. One of the Young Bucks were being held on the shoulders of, I think, Jack Evans on the top turnbuckle, and he was being held by another Young Buck by the foot so he couldn't move. Jack Evans climbs the body, moonsaults off the body to break it up from one of the Young Bucks. Kip Sabin teasing the Kenny Omega Terminator kind of dive. Good match all around.
Yeah, just a good, solid match. I didn't really understand why we needed to have this match, but it was there and it was good.
Adds to the win-loss record. But again, the ending of this match was great because at the end, the Young Bucks are celebrating. They're high-fiving fans, and they high-five a couple fans. They're all wearing their Rick and Morty masks. We get two fans wearing Rick masks, and then they go to shake their hand, and they try to leave, and the fans won't let go. And then they try to stop, and the fans remove their mask, and it's the Proud and Powerful sneaking up on them. Saw it out of
all
nowhere.
over the show tonight.
All over the show, and they pull the Young Bucks over, start beating on him. Kenny's in the ring celebrating, so he couldn't see it. And before Kenny can come to the rescue, they're dipped out. So this is twice that they've
They're
got
great
him.
heels. They're so good heels.
Got him. And of course, we probably heard one more, the best.
On the way out.
On the way out.
I want to know if they had their tickets.
Yeah, did they have a ticket?
They better have had a ticket.
They better have had a ticket.
Calling corporate if they didn't.
Yeah, that'd be a huge thing.
Oh, man. Next up is, wow.
We
My
had the
boy
libra-
Jon Moxley.
We had the Librarians first.
Oh, the Librarians did come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter Avalon and
Leva
Leva
Bates. I didn't even remember them coming out.
They came out because Moxley interrupted them.
Yeah, I know that he interrupted them, but they were just there.
I think they were scheduled to have a match, actually. Peter and Mox were supposed to have a match, and he just came through the crowd and just paradigm shift.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So Moxley comes out after Peter Avalon and Leva Bates hit the ring, and he coming through the crowd. Jon Moxley is probably my favorite wrestler in AEW.
He's a star.
He's fantastic. Gets in the ring, paradigm shift to Peter Avalon, and immediately gets on the mic.
Immediately.
And boy, when I tell you that Jon Moxley is one of
Dumb down Devitt, take notes.
He's one of the greatest promo givers, and I know this is not scripted. This guy was speaking from the soul, and wow. If you guys didn't watch AEW, at the beginning of AEW, we had Jon Moxley in Tony Khan's office while Tony Khan is explaining to Jon Moxley that his match with Kenny Omega at Full Gear is going to be a lights-out match because they just cannot sanction Jon Moxley. He's too violent.
He attacks referees.
All this stuff. He doesn't care about the rules. So Tony Khan has to make this an unsanctioned lights-out match, and Jon Moxley flips, talking about how Kenny Omega's blood is on Tony Khan's hands, and
He's trying to protect his boy.
Yeah, that they don't
Putting
want
him in
Jon
a
Moxley
box.
to go over. Yeah, they don't want Jon Moxley to beat their boy and have it affect Kenny Omega's record and have that win on Jon Moxley's record. So anyway, we get to the ring, and he comes out and spits this fiery promo on Kenny Omega, talking about how at Full Gear, he's just gonna. I can't even repeat his words.
Yeah, he basically implies that now because I love his catchphrase. He says, "They say they're not going to sanction me. Fine, I'm unsanctionable," which is a great storyline because you're protecting your top guy because he's not losing matches because they're unsanctioned.
Yeah.
And if he wrestles top guys, they don't lose because it doesn't count on your win-loss record. This is how you tell stories. You're tying loops together. So if he beats Kenny Omega, doesn't affect Kenny Omega's shot at the title because it's an unsanctioned match.
Yep.
If he loses to Kenny Omega and Kenny gets his revenge, doesn't affect Jon Moxley. It's going to be a bloodbath. And he says, I'm going to beat him within an inch of his life. And their blood will be poured out on AEW, and it'll be the Khan's fault. It'll be all your faults.
It'll be Ted Turner's fault.
It'll be
TNT.
it'll be TNT's fault. And you'll see when I beat your boy. And even now that doesn't count, I'm going to make it count.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jon Moxley, I'm so proud of you, brother. I'm so glad that you went to these new heights and are able to spread your wings and fly.
There's part of us that definitely there's in our blood a little bit of the AEW markness. But if you are a WWE mark and you're telling me that Moxley made the wrong choice, and you think that Jon Moxley, the character, is worse than Gene's Ambrose, you don't watch professional wrestling. You watch sports entertainment, and maybe this isn't for you. I'm just saying, go watch a soap opera. You know, that's you're better off. Go watch The Bachelor or Temptation Island on USA. Or you're better off watching the Chris Lees versus the Kardashians. I don't know. In Celebrity
Dude,
Deathmatch.
Chris Lee knows best is my jam, dude.
Our main event, they finished with their strongest kind of division. They finished with the inaugural Tag Team Championship match. And oh my gosh, the Lucha Brothers.
The best tag team in the universe. And that's not a damn lie. These guys have never put on a bad match, I don't think.
I can't even think of a single
Not once. They've never put on a bad match.
We've seen them live.
Listen, there was some botchiness in this match. Still a better match than anything I saw in NXT.
Yeah, still great. Kazarian hits a bad botch from a top rope outside Hurricanrana and hits his head on the hardest part of the ring and pops up, goes in the ring, and still does his spot.
That blew my mind.
Yeah,
when I saw his head bounce off the apron, he immediately grabbed it, and I was like, "Oh no, dude, that's concussion." And he might have a concussion.
Absolutely.
I hope that they check them because go back and watch it. His head bounced off of the apron.
Yeah, one of the best spots that stood out to me was Phoenix grabs Kazarian's hand, lights his chest up with the chop, goes to run the ropes.
They're douchebags, dude.
Yeah, and Scorpio goes to take his legs out, and Phoenix jumps up from the ropes, split legs, bounces, corkscrew arm drag, and when he sits up and looks at the camera, he's like, I'm that guy.
I just did that.
I just did that. He went like this and said, yeah, Sin Cara who? Yeah, Sin Cara. Lucha House what?
What? Rey Mysterio what?
Yeah.
Why'd I take my first name?
Exactly. Hooray. Who's she?
Who is she?
Never heard of her.
Never heard of Mysterio.
Yeah.
Sounds mysterious.
Yeah. This is a great match. The only kind of downfall for me was it ended with our boys SCU winning.
Yeah.
But in a small package.
See, I didn't like that either.
I didn't like it either. I think the clean finishes is what makes AEW great, and you have such a high-octane match. It was cool because Kazarian gets put through a table on the outside. They're setting him up for the package piledriver double foot stomp. Kazarian gets in the ring somehow, distracts them, and Phoenix sees it, so he runs at him. Kazarian takes him out. Scorpio rolls him up from the package piledriver, 1, 2, 3.
If this was reversed and I got a small package with the tights from Lucha Brothers, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, because it's more of a heel
Because
move.
you're stealing the win away from SCU, whereas this kind of just seemed like I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe they just didn't want to give. Well, no, it's still a clean pinfall.
It's a clean pinfall. I guess it's more of like not a full on defeat, I guess you could say. But again, SCU is your inaugural champions, and they leave on that with still a little bit of a lower note.
Yeah, there's no retaliation from the Lucha Brothers or anything. We just end the night with SCU standing strong.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, Dylan, what do you give it? Who's coming out your Week 5 winner?
See, both cards had really good points. Like Io Shirai versus Candice was a great match. The women's war game setup was a great segment. Team Kick versus Kabuki Warriors. I'm talking about all like the women on NXT are just fantastic. AEW had Hangman Sammy. We had Best Friends, which I liked. It was a little gimmick match. The Jericho signing was great. Man, I think I have to give it to AEW. I think that their overall promo, contract signing, like all of their production value, and they keep me in the places where, and another promotion, I'd want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like during a promo, during like the women's match, during a tag team match, I don't want to leave. I just want to keep watching, and they keep impressing me. So
yeah, I think for me, it's actually tougher. I would probably give AEW a 7.8, and I'd give NXT a 7.
I was gonna, it's not that far.
It's not that far, and it's really closing the gap. But again, it's that 0.8 in production. And you know what I noticed too? That I was watching AEW and I was watching NXT. There's not very many, if at all, any backstage segments
on NXT.
in NXT or in AEW.
Yeah.
The only we didn't get a backstage segment. We got a little like during the commercial break, the Rock and Roll Express coming in, seeing Private Party. The only kind of weird backstage angle we got was the Brandy Awesome Kong thing, which I didn't know what that was going to be.
I don't understand that, yeah.
But we might get something more from it in a little bit.
Boy, is the beatdown of Dustin Rhodes a backstage segment technically?
Yeah, that's a backstage segment.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more quality caliber, but like even like that was an insane backstage segment compared to the backstage segment of Roderick Strong taking out Velveteen, where we didn't even see what he did to him.
Yeah, that was
It's like, oh, he's out. It's like, okay, so he's just acting. Versus, dude, this is a 55-year-old that's taking bumps. You're a 20-something-year-old. You can't take smaller bumps and gimmicks of stuff. I'm sure that maybe the limo was a little gimmicked, or the chair arm or the arm in the door.
But damn, it looks good.
It looks good, and it's an extra mile, like that production value of, man, that just adds to this storyline. And to me, again, it's a win for AEW.
Same for me. What is it? 3-1-1.
Yeah, 3-1-1. 3-11.
3-11.
Whoa.
This has been very fun for me to cover, going back and forth NXT and AEW.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see the Nielsen ratings that come out tomorrow, and we'll have that for you guys on next Tuesday when our video for This Week in Wrestling comes out.
Yep. We will also be covering, I'm sure,
Crown
Friday.
Jewel.
Yeah, Friday. We'll be watching.
I already feel like I got kicked in the Crown Jewels.
We'll be watching Crown Jewel because
Listen,
we're watching for you.
so you don't have to.
We're watching so you don't have to. And I feel like I'm going to watch a lot of this pay-per-view like this, dude. Just like, oh, my God.
You don't have to because there's not going to be anything happening on the screen anyway.
Why?
So it's like your eyes are closed because it's all pointless.
You're right, dude. You're right. So I don't want to touch a low on that. But again, AEW takes it this week. Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe, and let us know and sound off what you guys think. I've been Big Joe Yarbrough.
And I am Dylan Pack, and here on the dgenerationxl podcast, we bring you all things wrestling all around the world. Thank you for watching our videos, guys. We'll see you on the next one.